Mega Feraligatr is one of the more unique Mega evolutions. Its signature ability, Dragon Eyes, allows it to turn its normal type moves into dragon type moves. With this, you're able to unleash some really powerful body slams, thrashes, or even facades. At least that's how everyone else uses it. But today, I'm using Hyper Beam Mega Feraligatr. And here's how I'm going to try to make this work. First, we set up an agility. This doubles our speed, and with a modest nature, we can ensure the highest damage output possible while also outspeeding Pokemon like Mega Gengar. It is then that we can fire off some really powerful Hydro Pumps as well as Hyper Beam, which after Dragon Eyes becomes a 180 base power move. Also, Hyper Beam just looks amazing in this game, so obviously I want to have an excuse to use it. And so today, I want to try to get some wins while also just eviscerating as many Pokemon as possible with Mega Feraligatr. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, lovely people. My name is SkyLaaa, and this is the Mega Feraligatr team that I will be using for this video. If you enjoy these types of videos, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. I get into all kinds of shenanigans, and I'm trying to use every single Mega Pokemon in a very unique way on this channel. So, let's get on to this first game. This game was really interesting. Got to show off basically the best of my Mega Feraligatr in this. So, I'm going to lead with my Aerodactyl against Sneasler. Now, this is a really interesting Aerodactyl set. Because I'm running a Choice Scarf Aerodactyl. This Sneasler has Poison Touch. That's interesting. Normally you see this Pokemon as like an unburdened, like 99% of the time this Pokemon is an unburdened sweeper. But I have dual Wing Beat on this Aerodactyl, specifically to get around Focus Sash from Sneasler as well. But it also 2-hit KOs it and it outspeeds it as well. Now I will say, this Aerodactyl is an adamant nature. I would probably change that to Jolly the next time I ever decide to use not Mega Aerodactyl, just regular Aerodactyl, because of the fact that everybody uses Choice Scarf Meowscarada in this format, and that Pokemon still outspeeds me, and that's a problem, so yeah. But anyway, I'm just going to go for another dual Wing Beat against the Basculegion. They're going to go for the flip turn and take me out. I didn't really have any Pokemon that I wanted to switch into this, so I just decided to get off some chip damage with my Aerodactyl. So, now I'm going to bring in Pelipper. I have a Rain team that I'm using, mainly because Rain can power up the Hydro Pumps from my Mega Feraligatr, as well as help out my Archaludon that I have as well. This team also had a Mega Meganium, which I still haven't gotten the most amount of battles that I have with that team, because wow, the Mega Meganium set that I'm using is bad, but that's for another video. Anyway, Gengar is going to Mega Evolve. I have a Focus Sash on this, so I know I could guarantee tank any hit from this Pokemon. So I just thought that, you know, the best damage output that I have versus this thing is the Weather Ball, which in the raid is going to do a lot of damage. I just missed the KO on this Pokemon, unfortunately. So they're going to take me out, and it's all basically down to my Mega Feraligatr at this point. Now, I thought, well, I can Mega Evolve, I become a Dragon type, and that means that I won't be weak to the Thunderbolt, so I should be able to tank any hit. Even if this Mega Gengar goes for like Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb, I should still be able to tank that as well. So, they are going to go for another Thunderbolt. I'm like, please don't get parried, please, that would be really bad. But I don't get paralyzed. I'm going to set up the Agility. It looks amazing when it uses Agility, by the way. That animation is so good. So, thankfully, I land my Hydro Pump. Gengar gets taken out. Oh my god, did anybody see that? It like fell through the floor. Does Mega Gengar normally do that? I can't even tell if that's a glitch. But the last Pokemon is the Basculegion. I don't know if this is Swift Slam, but I have an Agility. And I'm hoping that this Hyper Beam will be able to take this out. And if it lands, that would be amazing. And Hyper Beam hits. Look at this. This is crazy. I take out the Basculegion. And Mega Feraligatr just absolutely helped me out so much in that game. I love the fact that you can use Dragon Eyes Hyper Beam. I know everybody is using like Dragon Eyes like Thrash and like Body Slam. Maybe even Double Edge. I don't know if it gets that move. But anyway, if you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. I really want more people to see these really interesting Pokemon Champions videos, the way Mega Pokemon are not normally meant to be used, and still trying to get wins with them. I think it's really fun. So, I'm going to lead with Archaludon in the second game. Delphox is going to go for a Flamethrower. I thought that this would be Mega Delphox, but either way, I have Sturdy on this Archaludon, so I would be able to tank any hit. And I actually have Miracle on this set. This is a set that I actually changed. I originally, well, this did originally have a Miracle, but I actually changed it to Thunderbolt just so that I can have an electric type move to use outside of rain, because a lot of the times I didn't even like usually bring Pelipper to a lot of these matchups, and I still valued Archaludon, so having Thunderbolt boosted by the Magnet definitely helped me. So Mega Greninja is going to come in. They are going to take me out with the Dark Pulse, and I thought this is another opportunity for me to set up my Mega Feraligatr in this game. So gonna Mega Evolve here. I'm sure that I could tank like another Dark Pulse from this Pokemon. Mega Greninja is very fast and hits pretty hard with the Protein boost, but they go for the Sludge Wave. So like I said, I would have been able to tank anything, and now I'm gonna go for another Agility, ensuring that I outspeed this Mega Greninja. And now it's time for me to fire off another Hyper Beam. Look at that, it takes it out in one hit. Oh my gosh, this Pokemon, this is such a powerful Hyper Beam. When it comes to Pokemon abilities that like change the type of like moves, like Dragonize or like Pixelate and everything, I have to make sure that I have to use like Hyper Beam or something with it. It's just so funny. So Raichu comes in, they actually outsped me, so I was like, that's interesting. But then I outsped it, and I was like, what? Is this a speed type? But I missed, unfortunately. And now they're gonna take me out with the Volt Tackle. I don't think they outsped me. I think that Pokemon Champions changes the way the text works. In terms of like showing that like I have to recharge, which is why normally it's supposed to say that I have to recharge after the Raichu moved, if that makes sense. But anyway, I have my Choice Scarf Aerodactyl, thank goodness, to outspeed this Raichu, and I'm gonna take it out with the Earthquake. This Choice Scarf Aerodactyl, again, I really like using Choice Scarf on really fast Pokemon just to get the jump on Pokemon that already run Choice Scarf. Again though, I would change this Aerodactyl to Jolly Nature rather than Adamant. So on to this third game. This game was just a bunch of nonsense, okay? Keep that in mind. So this time I'm going to lead with my Feraligatr here. Tyranitar is going to lead. Now Tyranitar does get a special defense boost in the sand, so I kept that in mind, and I thought I'm still going to go for a Hydro Pump, get off a lot of chip damage versus this Pokemon, or as much as I possibly can anyway. But the downside of this set is that I have two moves that could miss, and my Hydro Pump misses, so that's unfortunate. And they have Dragon Tail too, which not only hits me super effectively, but it forces me to swap out. But they do make me swap into Tinkaton, so I was like, you know, I'm perfectly fine with this. I can hit this with a Swords Dance Gigaton Hammer. I also have Wood Hammer on the set, which I don't think is a move that Tinkaton got previously. I could be wrong, but I think it actually got Wood Hammer in Pokemon Champions. Now, unfortunately, Tyranitar hits me with a Fire Punch, and they burned me. I was like, what the heck? That's like a 10% chance. So they're also leftovers, so they get just a little bit of leftovers recovery, and that actually halves my attack too. So I thought, well, I can't use Gigaton Hammer the next turn. I might as well just go for a Play Rough here. But they swapped it to Hydreigon, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna get hit with a 4-time super effective Play Rough. But I miss. What the heck is going on? So I miss my Play Rough. I get burned by Fire Punch. Thankfully, the next Play Rough lands, but I don't even take it out. The burn really actually mattered in that instance. But they actually missed the Heat Wave. I was like, this battle, the luck is bouncing out. What is even going on here? So, thankfully, I land my next Play Rough, and that's going to take out the Hydreigon. Shenanigans are happening right now. It's unbelievable. So, they're actually going to decide to bring in the Tyranitar next, I assume, because they want to reset the Sandstorm, which just ran out. And I'm like okay with this, because I could just go for a Gigaton Hammer or Wood Hammer here and just easily take out the Tyranitar. And I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that, because I'm going to end up taking recoil damage. And then after that, plus the burn, I'm actually going to end up taking myself out. But I wanted to use Wood Hammer. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a new move that I got. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never used Wood Hammer on Tinkaton before. It just makes sense to have. So, the last Pokemon is the Dragonite. I have my Pelipper in the back. But it's really important that I brought in my Mega Feraligatr first. And that is because the Sandstorm is up. And Mega Dragonite has multi-scale. Unfortunately, they outsped me with Draco Meteor. I was really hoping that I would be able to outspeed and get off a Hyper Beam. I'm not sure if that would have taken it out through multi-scale. It would have been amazing if it did. But as my Mega Feraligatr gets taken out, they get a special attack drop but the sandstorm hits them. And that's really important because I have my Pelipper, which would have set up the rain, and that meant that sandstorm would not have been active, and therefore they would still be at multi-scale. So they hit me with the Draco Meteor. I have a 4x super effective Ice Beam, and I'm really hoping, is this going to be enough to take this out? I'm Modest Nature on this Pelipper as well, and that sandstorm chip mattered extremely. I was able to take out the Mega Dragonite thanks to that. Oh my gosh, that was a nonsense game. Oh my, but that was really close in the end game. I'm really thankful that Tyranitar came in and reset the sandstorm, because oh my gosh. But now on to this fourth and final game. I really appreciate everybody that's like watching and still like sticking around to this point. My opponent has a Detonate, and they actually let off with it, so respect for bringing Detonate. So they're gonna lead. They're gonna go for the Super Fang. That's going to deal half of my health as damage. As I go for the Flash Cannon, I do a lot of damage, but this Detonate has Citrus Berry plus Cheek Pouch, and it recovers so much of its HP. Oh my gosh, it's basically like I barely touched it. So they go for the Volt Switch. They're gonna switch out versus my Archaludon, and they actually bring in the Gengar. So I was like, okay, well, this looks like another battle where I have to deal with Mega Gengar potentially. So as I go for the Flash Cannon, I do some solid damage. I do like over half, which is amazing. So they are going to be Mega Gengar on this team, and I was like, yeah, I don't really have any switches to this Pokemon, so I'm just going to let myself get taken out by the Shadow Ball this turn. So I have my Mega Feraligatr, which I could go for the Agility Hydro Pump Hyper Beam, or I could go into my Aerodactyl, and they won't expect me to outspeed and go for the Choice Scarf Earthquake, which thankfully they don't, and they stay in, and Earthquake takes them out. That is amazing. So I thought this is good. Actually, Aerodactyl and Mega Gengar have the same speed stat, so maybe they thought I would be risking a speed tie. Now, as the Quest Quaval comes in, I was like, yeah, I'm not letting this Pokemon get a free Moxie boost or like an Aqua Step speed boost, so I'm gonna be able to go into my Mega Feraligatr. I should tank an Aqua Step into a close combat from this Pokemon. Mega Feraligatr actually gets a sizable defense boost on top of that as well, so that's really good, so that I could just be able to bolster my own bulk. And as I Mega Evolve, I thought they would go for the close combat, but they go for another Aqua Step. So maybe they expected me to Dragon Dance to match their speed, but this is fine. I just went straight for the Hyper Beam this turn. I'm just going for Hyper Beam versus all of the water types, which is natural because, you know, they resist my Hydro Pump. And I just one-shot the Quackable. It's so satisfying seeing Hyper Beam just absolutely clear everything in my path. I had so much fun using this Mega Feraligatr. So unfortunately, Detonate outspeeds me. They're gonna go for the Dazzling Gleam. That one-shots my my Mega Feraligatr. But at the very least, I have my Choice Scarf Aerodactyl in the back that I could go for the Earthquake versus. I'm really hoping that this Pokemon just doesn't just somehow it's able to tank the hit for some reason. If it was and it went for like a Discharge or something, that would have been catastrophic. But I'm going to take them out with the Earthquake. That is the end of all 4 games. Thank you all so much for watching. I had a lot of fun with this Hyper Beam Mega Feraligatr. I recommend that you use it. You try it out for yourself. It's really fun. My name is SkyLaaa. Don't forget to smile, and I will see you all next time.